Hey guys, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome aboard, welcome home. As always, completely and totally dependent on where you happen to be in relation to this week, this channel, these messages, etc., etc., etc. Let's have some conversation. This is the week of May the 1st through May the 7th of 2023. So we are, we're busy, right? So we start this week with a Virgo moon. And in the morning, even before sunrise, we have a quincunx to Chiron, a trine to Uranus, and a sextile to Mars. And then about lunchtime, Pluto moves retrograde, right? And we, of course, understand that retrograde is that opportunity for us to take a pause, right? And so Pluto is about ego, power, obsession, right? What is in the shadows? And Pluto will be retrograde until October. In June, he will move from his 0° 21' point of retrograde back into Capricorn. And then from June until September, we will have a Pluto T-square with the lunar nodes. So this is really about how we step into our destiny and utilize our gifts in order to witness the decomposition of old structures about power and ego and constructs that we have bought into, right? And made our tradition. Or just accepted as who and how and what we happen to be as a society, right? Pluto is generational energy. And as Pluto moves into Aquarius, right, this is an air sign. This is a energy that will create shift in terms of ideas. And, you know, all real change happens in ideology first. All sustainable change. How about, let's put it that way. Anyway, that's enough of Pluto. We can do a whole conversation around that if we'd like to. Wow. Okay, friends. Thank you. Later. Okay. Let me get back to what I'm talking about. So then that Virgo moon is going to square Venus and quincunx Jupiter, and then the Sun in Taurus is going to have a full opposition to Mercury, of course, conjunct retrograding Mercury in Taurus. That's a big deal and funny. That's a funny little. And then that Virgo moon is going to oppose Neptune in Pisces. So here's the deal. Imagine a day where your vision is a little blurred anyway, right? And then you walk squarely into a brick wall, right? So that's kind of that energy with that Pluto moving retrograde. The moon is actually feeling also challenged to find her 3D footing, right? And she's feeling a little tethered and a little stunted, right? So your emotions might not feel like they're in full expression. The Sun, of course, is being activated by retrograding Mercury in Taurus, right? And that already challenged concept of communication gets a little more so. So really, be sure to say exactly what you mean and do exactly what you choose to do, right? This is not a week for sloppy movement. This is not a week for muscle memory. This is a week for choice and deliberation and precision for most of this week, right? We're going to call it for most of this week. On Tuesday, the 2nd, the moon moves into Libra very early, and then trines retrograding Pluto, newly retrograding Pluto, and quincunx is Saturn in Pisces, and then also quincunx is Mercury in retrograde in Taurus. So on Tuesday, oh yeah, look at that. On Tuesday, you might decide to choose balance or harmony instead of perfection, right? And the thing is, the directives from your head and your heart might be really divergent. So you get to make that choice, balance or harmony, or perfection. And remember that done is always better than perfect. And so in the ways that you are contemplating your relation to precision and perfection, wow, that might be something better left to another day, right? And instead, you can choose love as your expression, right? Always a bonus, always a bonus. On Wednesday the 3rd, that Libra moon is going to quincunx the sun, oppose Chiron, quincunx Uranus, and then square Mars. So as much as you really, really want balance and peace, it might really prove elusive or hard to come by. And so the places that you're holding on are going to really loom large. And you might feel very personally triggered and out of sync with that concept of how you wish to express, what you want to be, the energy you want to hold, the space you want to occupy in the world, right? Both personally and in general. And here's the deal. If so, if that is the case for you on Wednesday, lean into self-care, right? And let silence be soothing for you, right? There's no need to be in expression if expression is challenged. You can always choose silence. On Thursday, May the 4th be with you. Of course, our Libra moon is going to trine Venus, quincunx Neptune, and oppose Jupiter before moving into Scorpio. And then very soon after, that Scorpio moon is going to square Pluto, retrograde, of course. Venus in Gemini is going to square Neptune. The moon in Scorpio will be trining Saturn, and then Venus will be sextiling Jupiter. So, right, all those out of balance places are coming to the forefront, right? Whether that is in relationships or in your relation to something, right? Everything feels like it's coming to a boil. Here's the deal. If you're in alignment with that sense of home, with what you desire, right? Then the question becomes, are you claiming it? And also, are you claiming the power necessary to make that vision of home your 3D reality, right? And the fact of the matter is that you have the power to get shit done, right? Again, we're looking for done over perfection, right? And a key on Thursday will be to simply do, simply accomplish, simply choose, and then move in silence. Do not talk about it. Do not promise about it. You don't have to create a verbal dialogue about what your choices are when it comes to home, right? You know what home looks like, feels like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like for you. All you have to do is move toward it. All you have to do is put your vision into action. You don't need to claim it. You don't need to claim it. You are your only and your best witness, right? And then you just have to keep the promises you make to yourself, right? On Friday, May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Don't forget that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out on Friday, May the 5th. Not that I've been waiting for it or anything like that. The Scorpio moon opposes retrograding Mercury in Taurus. And then at 1:34 p.m. Central Time, I like that a lot, by the way, the Scorpio moon opposes the Taurus sun. So we have a full moon at 14 Scorpio, along with a lunar eclipse. Then the moon quincunxes Chiron and opposes Uranus. So, this is a weighty full moon. Weighty. And by that I simply mean power-filled, right? Scorpio full moon is a big deal. what is claimed in the light, right? It's the same things that are claimed in the dark. This full moon is a brilliantly illuminated opportunity for you to be in full witness reevaluation and full witness recalibration of any changes that you want to make when it comes to your self-expression. Very important is to not shy away from every opportunity to up-level your new story. Remember how last week we talked all about the new story, the new story, the new story. This is where we really, really start to put our self, our avatar self, into motion toward that new story. On Saturday, the 6th of May, that Scorpio moon is going to trine Mars, trine Neptune, quincunx Jupiter and Venus, and then move into Sagittarius in the afternoon. Not long after, of course, that Sagittarius moon is going to sextile, retrograding Pluto. So there is a beautiful grand water trine on Saturday, the 6th of May. It feels very intuitive. It feels very motivating, right? Very inspiring. It's the moon and Mars and Neptune. So here's the deal. Here's a word of caution. Keep your head in the game, right? If you move groundlessly, it might lead to bumps or bruises today. So mind your trajectory. Right. Mind your trajectory. Because here's the deal. No matter what happens, you're going to hit something. So make sure that it is your mark that you hit, right? Or at least something close to it. That Sag moon in the afternoon might create things that feel a little bit flighty. But it also might feel more intense, right? It might create within you a deep need to explore, or a desire to go on an adventure. You get to make that choice. The stars ask, why don't you do that, right? What a fun, beautiful thing. Have an adventure, have an adventure, have an adventure. On Sunday, the 7th, that Sagittarius moon is going to square Saturn very, very early in the day. And then quincunx Mercury, of course, in retrograde. And then early in the morning, Venus moves into Cancer. And soon after that, in the evening, quincunx is Pluto. And then the moon in Sag quincunxes both the Sun and Uranus. And also Chiron. So as Venus moves into Cancer, right, we get that double down sense of home, that double down request. Where do you want to be, right? Where do you want to be? Venus in Cancer gives you a deep understanding, a deep experience of that, right? As she quincunxes Pluto, ask yourself, is it what you want, right? Are you really checking the boxes, right? Or are you allowing your old story, your old past, your old baggage to creep in? And you are being reminded that you have the power to shift into the new, right? That new story. As long as you can keep your fixations and your obsessions out of your new story, right? Where is your point of tabula rasa, right? Where are you, your own clean slate? So it's kind of a murky week, right? A little bit gauzy feeling, a little bit challenge in terms of how we, thank you, witness our, oh look, we have two. Okay, all right, we'll have two, that's fine. In terms of how you're witnessing your story and your relation to that story. So just be mindful. Be mindful that you might not be in full clarity right now. And that if you move without being in full clarity, you might bump into something. So just be mindful, that's all. On Monday, look, we have the Ten of Swords and the Four of Swords. Ten of Swords is, I'm cooked. I'm done. Something has to give. And this is swords, right? So this is about your ideas, your concepts, your relation to the abstract, the way that you think, the way that you express. And Four of Swords asks you, stop, pay attention, find a new way to witness what is happening. So even in this rock bottomness, there is light, right? There is an invitation. And so as Pluto moves retrograde, and the sun conjuncts Mercury, right, you're being challenged to find your footing in the 3D. If you feel stunted, if you feel tethered or held back, remember that the key is to be in your own energy, right? Witness your own process and shift or change what you need to shift or change, right? This is Pluto. Your ego, your power, your shadows, all going to be activated and illuminated, especially with this full moon this week. Very, very much all of these patterns and histories that have brought you to this point, that have brought you this heartache, loss, and betrayal are going to come to a point, right? And allow you to see what needs to change. On Tuesday, we've got the Knight of Wands. And the world, right? The Knight of Wands, beautiful fire energy, right? How are we moving through the world? How are we allowing our passions to move us? How are we allowing our heart to invite us forward? What do we need to complete so that we can begin, right? The world is integration. The world is learning lessons. The Knight of Wands says, hey, we know where we want to go. What do we need to wrap up so that we can, right? And we talked about this as being that day where your head and your heart might be a little divergent. And so you get to choose balance and harmony or what you witness as perfect. And the thing is, perfection is an illusion, right? All you can do is do, right? Done is always better than perfect. Choose love. Right? Choose love as your expression, and everything comes with you, right? You're integrating into the next cycle as love. On Wednesday the 3rd, we've got the Page of Pentacles and Strength. Page of Pentacles is what is coming toward you in the real world. What opportunities are being presented to you, and how are you willing to plant that seed, right? Are you willing to trust the process, right? Strength is about taming your inner demons and then witnessing that your inner demons were never really anything but your own shadow. And as we carry that forth from Pluto retrograde, this is how am I going to use that energy, right? This energy of my shadow, my demons. How can I make that power for my next leveling? We talked about this as the day where you might feel a little triggered, right? And we said that leaning into self-care, right, and allowing silence to be your soothing. Pentacles are not necessarily loud or showy energy. They're energy of groundedness. And as we talked about strength in groundedness, right? Choosing your roots, choosing your foundations, and allowing that to be where you choose to tell that new story, right? That's all you've been doing is finding ways to tell that new story. On May the 4th, we've got the King of Cups and the Hermit. King of Cups is, I am in claim to my feelings. I'm not ruled by them, but I know how they're leading me. And they are the light in my darkness, right? I am fearlessly following my heart, making choices that support that sense of home, right? And we talked about this as that day, knowing what you want, right? Knowing what you want and claiming, because you have the power to make those things real in your reality. You have the power to get shit done not overpromising, right? King of Cups is not this impulsive energy of the Knight of Wands. King of Cups is, yes, this is what will feed my soul. This is where my satisfaction and contentment lie, because I am familiar with my own heart. I know what I desire. I'm choosing, and then I'm moving forward in silence. I don't need to show anybody. I don't need to tell anybody. I just need to do what I know I need to do. On Friday, the 5th of May. 9 of Wands, Page of Cups. So, 9 of Wands is those places where we are tired, right? That place where we've leaned in and we know why we are here. We know why we keep showing up. But boy, it's getting real tired. Like, we've made our claims. We know what feeds our soul. We know what feeds our heart. But real soon I'm going to have to make some hard choices about what inspires me, what drives my passions, right? This is that day of the full moon. What is claimed in the light? The same thing that's claimed in the dark, right? How can I reevaluate in light of my heart? How can I recalibrate in light of my heart so that my self-expression has the chance to be in line with my new story that's going to bring me satisfaction? What am I willing to give up that I've been holding on to so that I can live here in my joy? Great question. Saturday the 6th, look, we've got this 3 of Swords and the moon. This is that day of that grand trine, right? So you may discover that those places where you're ungrounded and you have bumped into things that have perhaps brought you sadness and loss, where you felt betrayed, right? That this is the idea of loss and betrayal. And in fact, there is something hidden within that wound, something hidden within that experience, something hidden within that set of beliefs that is allowing you to find your real, what comes next, your real trajectory, right? The moon, right after this full moon, is all about what is illuminated. What is illuminated is your perspective, your point of view when it comes to how you feel, right? Paying attention, the moon, Mars, and Neptune, making sure that you're moving forward deliberately, right? Deliberately, even if not with precision, but deliberately following your own trajectory. Not that old story, not that old set of expectations. No, you're writing something brand new. And where you end up is up to you. Now, look, on Sunday, we've got the 10 of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. 10 of Pentacles is all about legacy, right? This is about how we are in relation to our future, our grounded experience, our fully resourced life, right? This is, look what we have built. Now we get to enjoy it because we've integrated all those ways that we are grounded. We've built that foundation and then we've built upon it. The Hanged Man shifts your perspective, right? This is, how are you looking? How are you looking? How are you looking? Right? We've got that divine perspective, and always being sure that we're lining things up, not letting our old story creep in, right? This is the shift in your point of view that allows you to perhaps see that what you have is something different than what you thought, right? Where do you want to be, right? Are you checking your boxes? Don't let that old story creep in. Don't let those fixations creep in, right? Be your own new story. Always important. Always important. Do the thing. I mean, sometimes we get to that point where when what you have is tiring, tiresome, wearisome, this just drains your energy and it doesn't feed your soul, right? And sometimes you just got to do the thing. And sometimes you realize that you've already done the thing, right? You've already done it. You've already healed it. Why are you carrying it around? So look, here we have two. We have realizations and do not hide your light. Okay, let's have some looks here. They're so cute. I love these little cards. Okay. We're going to start here with 41. We're going to read realizations first. So often we are distracted, right? We churn through the day, too busy to see, hear, feel, and think. The soul starves within us, right? That's true. But in a time of aloneness, we can come to moments of deep realization where we begin to understand so much more, right? We talked about making time for silence, moving in silence, right? Being your own counsel here. So much listening to yourself. Honor those moments when they come within this time and space. The key to moving into a more soulful and rich connection with yourself and the world lies in these lonesome times. Absolutely. You will have moments of realization that are the key to your entire life taking a different shape in the days to come. Let's read that again. You will have moments of realization that are the key to your entire life taking a different shape in the days to come. Absolutely. And this is a great blessing, born from the quiet, the stillness, and the space around and within us in isolation. Amen, right? And then let's have a look at this. Come on, do not hide your light, right? We've got a little echo to our hermit here. Do not hide your light. Do not. At night, we become strange as moonlight. Nope, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Oh boy. What is the light that we hold within, the love we have, the fullness of our dreams? The urge for joy that we shackle till we give ourselves limits that make us feel blinded to the truth of all that we are. The light within you is longing to be freed. Yeah. It will not vanish, be stolen, or shrivel if you take it from its hiding place. Bring it forth, right? Bring it forth and let the light within you lead. Know that this sense of being the only person with this strange shining within will be replaced in time with the knowledge that your light helps us all escape our prisons, that your light illuminates the darkness of the lonesome path. The world needs your light. Right? And so, until and unless you are willing to do that work, to excavate, to allow that light to come to the surface, regardless of where it's been hiding, right? And why, right? And why it's been hiding, right? We go from the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Pentacles this week. We go from rock bottom to, wow, look at what I have created. Simply in a shift in perspective. We go from this is terrible to, oh, this is my beginning. This is my foundation, right? I've had it all along. It's been right here in me all along. Again, as this Pluto retrograde moves and is witnessed by this full moon lunar eclipse, especially in Scorpio, right? At depth, intensity, power, all of these things allowing you really to see into your own shadow. And when we come into June and we're T-squared with those nodes from the moon, there's so much work available right now. If you can stay in the new story, really pull up anchor in your history, pull up anchor in your fixations, pull up anchor in your obsessions, and move forward in your own power, under your own power, without baggage, right? You have every opportunity. You have the world pushing you forward, inviting you to step into something new, right? Look at all of these majors. This is all about massive shift, right? And opportunity. Pay attention to the people in your life and allow them to be your blessings, right? In every respect. Anyway, it's a big week. Happy full moon. Happy Pluto retrograde. take care, right? Move with care this week, not just in your real 3D life, but also in your soul. Just move with caution. Pay attention to your fixations, pay attention to your emotion, and don't allow any sense of hurry to create a belief that you have to get it done right now or perfectly. Right? Your timing is your timing. Divine timing is your timing. So move as you see fit, but make sure that you're anchored to where you want to feel that sense of home. Big blessings, guys. Take care.